Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Empires and Puzzles video. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at, can you guess it? You already know because you saw the description or the title. Motega, new hero from the Magic Tower. And he's quite interesting. One thing I found disappointing about that event was how few classes the heroes belong to, because they were all very impacted classes for me. So it made emblems a challenge, or the possibility of. So let's take a look at this guy. We've got, first things first, up to 19 emblems. So we're seeing stats on the higher end. So I hope that would go without saying, but it seems important to mention that too, that the stats here are sort of as high as you can get them. It's not to say that they've taken one particular path, but just keep that in mind. So we have the Cleric class. To reiterate, 35% chance to resist any negative mana status ailment or effects that prevent the use of special skills. Pretty good. The family is 2 or 3 heroes, 25 or 50% chance to cast a plus 5% mana generation stack on a random ally when this hero casts their special skill. So you need 2 heroes for that. So it seems pretty low for me. This is not a very competitive stack or family bonus in my opinion. So yeah, we got a passive on him on a fully charged special skill, which is about 12 tiles. This hero has a 50% chance to recover 30% health for all allies that are not of the holy element. So good for defense when you're typically running Rainbow. Obviously terrible for mono. So something to keep in mind there. And then looking at what he does, magic speed is 6 and then 12 tiles. First charge, summons a butterfly minion for each ally with 8% HP and 17% attack inherited from the caster. Each hit from a butterfly minion gives the target the following status ailment. All damage the target receives is increased by plus 20% for 2 turns. So I'm curious to see what this is going to look like. It might be hard to test because I can't control who's going to hit me, who's going to hit what target. So that's the thing I'm most curious about with him, but that's also very hard to test. So we'll do our best. It might be easier for you guys watching after this is already recorded to speculate based on what you're seeing throughout. It'll be harder for me to do that in real time. Second charge, the crazy debilitating one. Summons a butterfly fiend for all enemies. The fiend damages the enemy with 43% attack every turn. Very familiar number there. Absorbs healing and disappears when it has absorbed 30% of its max health. So any healer that is healing more than 30% will be able to remove these. Otherwise, they will remain. The butterfly fiend gives minus 50% accuracy for as long as the owner has fiends. Chance to miss also applies to special skills, cannot be cleansed. So in Bloody Battle, this is absolutely debilitating. 50-50 chance to miss or land a hit is pretty crazy. We know what a 45% chance to dodge feels like with Costume Cattle, and think about if you can't heal and all of your hits only have 50% chance to land. Very good. So I think he's a really cool hero. He's a unique hero. We haven't seen anything quite like this. We've seen fiends, but this is the strongest fiend hero that we've seen so far. So yeah, I've been very curious to test him for a while. I'm going to go green against this team because I don't want to kill him before we have a chance to test, and we have 2 blues here, which I would like to kill. So let's jump in. Wow, also limit broken Aslar. Almost 1,000. Wow, crazy stats. And limit broken Cobalt. Okay, so level 17 troop. So I'm curious what this 8% HP minion is going to look like. That's very weak and would only make sense for it to be that weak if the ailment is decently powerful. It's important to remember that that cast is at very fast speed, so it wouldn't be too hard to get a bunch of those minions. Oh, bit my tongue. To get a bunch of those minions stacked up on you. All right, that's enough talking. Let's see what this looks like. Sorry if you can hear these super annoying dogs barking outside. That's what I have to listen to all day. and a leaf blower now too, so. Okay, not going super well, though we're close to getting something going. So maybe we'll try to get these minions out. Okay, he's waiting for the second cast. Unless we can lower his health enough, like the ninjas, there's that fail-safe to make sure they don't fire and do nothing. Alright. Scotty is a bizarre choice for defense. Not a big threat. Okay. So we've got Onyx charging up there, getting to be a threat. Aslar charging up there, getting to be a threat. Probably best to go right down the middle. And we'll leave the attack down on the ninjas. Try to get our purples going and set these ninjas off. All right, charge 2. 50% accuracy. So Regard, not a great choice here because he is not healing up front. Costume Regard, that is. Oh shit. We are immune to new buffs. So we are in big trouble here. And this is where it's like, do you risk the 50% chance to miss? We're going to risk it because Cobalt's at ×3. Oh, man. Cleric and a miss. All right. That's going to kill us. So, 50% chance to miss is crazy good. Let's jump back in here again with the same thing. See if we can get a better start. That green diamond is a good start. Don't want to kill this fella too soon, though. All right, good. We forced him into the butterflies. So, Cobalt, about 560. And this is like, the reason why we don't know what this effect is because we don't know where in the damage calculation it's happening. So it could be happening at the very end, in which case all damage is just scaled up by 20%, which would be very strong. It could be happening earlier in the damage calculation. We don't really know. If you are better at that kind of stuff and have some of an idea, please share that below. I guess we'll wait on Cobalt or on Regard for now. Oh yeah, and what is the HP of these minions? 127. So, not quite strong enough to withstand a slash attack, which is a bit disappointing, but I can see the reason for not wanting them to be too strong. Okay, so he's going to go off again. So he kind of functions as a very fast healer with the ability to just completely ruin your day if you can charge him up fast enough. Okay, so Cobalt is going to hit again. Only 2 targets have this decreased or increased damage. No. Ah, fuck. Okay. Maybe we try to get Scotty to go off and we can compare the heroes that have it with the ones that don't. And none of us have it, so that's a fail. All right. Well, let's do this one more time. So yeah, hard to test. I wish there was a more of a sandbox utility type feature in the game where you could get a clearer idea of what these things do, because you're looking at this hero going, we've never seen that before. Is that good or is it not good? And you would like to be able to definitively answer that question, but it is not really possible. So it's the caster's HP, so 127 is pretty good. All right, if we can get Cobalt to hit Kingston again, to do so we need to lower his health. Crap. Okay, it's not going to be possible. All right, so he's doing his ×2 charge. That'll give us some familiar data. All right, it did not seem to be that significant. So I kind of worried that it wouldn't be much of a difference. It's definitely possible that we'll see a buff to this effect. It's unusual for them to release a new mechanic like that and have it fall flat on its face. It looks pretty bad for them. So I think it's possible that we'll see them fix this a little bit if my impressions are correct, that it doesn't do as much as it maybe should. And I understand that he's also doing this at very fast speed, so you don't want it to be out of hand. But yeah, it's not too impressive. Alrighty, so we've seen the blind, we've seen the HP. It's no surprise what 50% chance to miss looks like. 30% healing is pretty good. And there is some data here, at least, with these ninjas hitting multiple targets to see what kind of a change we can expect. Keep in mind if you are going to go through and try to compare and contrast what the damage differences are based on attacks with or without it. Keep in mind that there is a random multiplier in the damage calculation. So if Cobalt were to hit the same target at the same charge 10 times, they would all vary by a little bit. And they can vary as much as 100 or more, depending on the higher the attack, the more it can vary. But you have to factor that into, so it's just kind of a rough idea. So I guess the last thing that we can talk about, I'll just finish this out in the background, is what kind of synergies are there? In thinking about this hero, the obvious downside, or maybe not obvious, but a distinct downside is the fact that they are not good heroes in rush attack. Why? Because they're separated into 2 charges. So if he was just a slow hero, in rush attack, he becomes a very fast hero. Since he's not a slow hero, he is a magic hero. It means that the ×1 and ×2 charge are both going to take 6.5 tiles. So they're actually a little bit worse in rush attack, because normally they would take 6 tiles. Now it's 6.5. So a little bit of a step down. So what kind of synergies are available to speed these up? The best ones are going to be heroes that increase mana gained from matches. I forget what that is called, but heroes like Ariel, Odin, Micah, heroes like that. Heroes that give passive mana gain are another possibility, like Alberich or Snolfod or Toxicondra, though they don't give that much in the long run. So the first type of heroes that I mentioned are best because you have the possibility within the duration of that to turn this hero from a hero that will take 12 tiles to get to the second charge to a hero that will only take 9 tiles. So you're functionally fast at that point. So that's what I would recommend. It can be hard to time it because if you're using Micah, the charge that's going to make a difference means you have to get 9 tiles to Micah. That also means that Motega has gotten 9 tiles. So he only needs 3. So there's no mana buff in the entire game that will make it easier to get those remaining 3 tiles. So it's kind of pointless at that point. So say you're using that synergy, you charge up Micah, he's ready to go at ×2. Do you use him now or do you wait? Because it's not going to make a difference for Motega. And once you fire that charge, you only have 4 turns to make 3 matches. After you fire Motega. So he can be a little bit awkward to time. Otherwise, you're having to use a mana boosting hero in a different color, and that has its own problems as well. So If you have any clever ideas of how to speed these up, I don't think I'm forgetting about any options that we have, but that's the one thing holding these magic heroes back is they're a little bit tricky to work with, but they are extremely powerful. So it's worth the endeavor of trying to figure out how to make them better. So those are all the points that I think are relevant to mention about him. I still think he's a very cool hero. He's going to absolutely destroy on defense in Bloody Battle. You're going to have an ailment blocker. So that can be tricky because now in Bloody Battle, we're going to see Motega, Elizabeth, and Hannah all together. And it's going to be an extremely, extremely dominant defense. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this hero. I really like seeing unique heroes enter the game and not just more powerful versions of already existing things. Of course, he's not the first hero to have fiends, but the charge 1, charge 2 thing being sort of complementary but different is pretty exciting to me. So yeah, be sure to like the video, share your thoughts on the hero. Please subscribe to the channel and help me grow this even further. I really appreciate that support, and it helps other people find these videos, which I think benefits the community as a whole. That was what got me started in the first place, was trying to create content that I felt would benefit other people. And of course, it's changed over time as my account and has changed and time has gone on. But hopefully that goal is still being met, because that's something that I take pride in. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.